The Onion Witch. This story is set in 2005. There was a rumor going around in the northern regions of India that had made the people very anxious. It was a common practice to capture the witches in a bottle in a temple of Rajasthan. But during that time, 3 bottles had disappeared from the temple. It was believed that the 3 witches captured in those bottles were now free and had reached Delhi. According to the rumor, those witches had been hungry for many years, and their hunger could be curbed only by feeding off of human souls. They used to go door to door at nights in Delhi and the neighboring regions in disguise and asked for onions and bread. Whoever opened the door died within the next 3 days. The story was spreading so fast that people now went back home early in the evenings. The kids were not allowed to play alone outside. If this was not enough, at the behest of priests, people started to leave their hand impressions on the gate of their houses with dyed henna and turmeric. It was said that after following this ritual, the 3 witches won't come to your house. Such incidents were witnessed once back in the 80s in the small village of Uttarakhand. The people of that village had also tried the same trick, which eventually led to the witches going away from that place for good. But this time the trick didn't work. The lives of the D'Souza family living in Delhi changed that night. Mr. and Mrs. D'Souza had gone out to a function, and their 13-year-old son Vivian was alone in the house. Out of fear of the onion witches, they had also imprinted their front gate with the hands dyed with henna and turmeric. Vivian was watching something on the TV alone when suddenly there was a power cut. During those times, electrical blackouts were a normal thing in Delhi. But when Vivian looked outside the window, the neighboring houses had electricity. While he was looking outside, he heard his house gate open. He thought his parents had returned. But when he looked again through the window, there was no one, and the gate slowly shut on its own. Vivian got very nervous after seeing this. He shut the window securely and called up his parents with the landline. He told them that he was not feeling well, and suddenly the phone disconnected. Hello, Dad, hello. A short time later, there was a knock at the door. Vivian was scared. He could then hear a woman crying. I haven't eaten anything since morning. Please give me something to eat. Frightened, Vivian opened the netted door to see who it was. He saw a very old woman who actually looked poor and hungry. Vivian pitied her. He forgot that the witch who came asking for bread and onions actually came in disguise. He went to the kitchen, but there wasn't much food there. All he had was a flatbread and some potatoes. He took it to the old lady and opened the door, but the old woman threw away the potatoes and asked for onions. I'm not able to eat potatoes. Do one thing, just give me some onions. The moment she asked for onions, Vivian realized she was the onion witch. He rushed back inside, but that old woman grabbed him by his hand and said, I'll also come along. I'll take the onions myself. The woman's appearance changed after saying this. She suddenly turned into a deadly witch and started laughing hysterically. Vivian fainted out of fear. The next morning, one of the neighbors saw the handprints of turmeric and henna at Vivian's house had turned into blood-dyed handprints. When the neighbors came inside, he saw that Vivian laid unconscious and the veranda of the house was wide open. All the valuables were missing from the house, and Vivian's parents still hadn't returned home. The neighbor immediately called the police and took Vivian to his house. When Vivian regained consciousness, he narrated the entire incident that happened with him. When the police investigated, they found out that Mr. and Mrs. D'Souza died in a serious car crash last night. Vivian completely broke down after getting this news. After that night, the police put out surveillance in the area, but they never came across any such incident related to the Onion Witch again. The police said that a group of thieves leveraged the fear of the Onion Witch to rob houses, and that the road accident of Vivian's parents was a mere coincidence. But to this date, Vivian believes that it was the Onion Witch who was behind all of this. What's your take on this? Do let us know in the comment section below. And if you like the story, then do subscribe to our channel, Bloody Monday, and keep watching more horror stories on our channel.